We're showing how to set up the Sierra Designs Tensegrity one-person FL tent. We've got all the pieces spread out here on the ground. We have the single pole, the stakes, a couple guy outlines, and the tent body. The first step is just to spread out the tent body on the ground in the spot that you want to set it up and stake all 4 corners into the ground. This being a trekking pole tent, the second step is to set up the trekking poles. So there is a grommet here on the bottom. That's where you put the tip of the trekking pole, and there's 2 pockets where you put the handle of the trekking pole. Sierra Designs suggests that you use the longest possible length for your trekking poles to set up this tent, but there are a lot of different points of adjustability here. So they call out a couple key spots. The yellow is 140 centimeters, the red is 130, and the blue down here is 120. Now my trekking poles happen to be 120 centimeters, so I'm gonna use the blue tab. And the way you change this out is really simple. Let's say my poles were 140 centimeters. You would just insert that into there and then use the trekking pole at that spot. Now you do have other points of adjustability, so if you're somewhere around 125 centimeters, you could use a different toggle point. I'm gonna start with the one on the right here. You find the pocket in the corner, put the nice handle of the trekking pole in there, and you have one. Set that down for a moment, and you do the same thing on the other side. So the next thing you want to do is stake out the front gear closet panel. And there are 3 guy outlines. There's one on each corner and one in the middle. You want to loosely stake out the middle one first, just so you get everything lined up to make sure that panel on the front is centered with the tent. And you just want to stake it out maybe a 1.5 or 2 feet behind the tent. You don't want to stake it out too tight, because then when you set up the other 2 corners, it's going to pull the stake out of the ground. So just loosely stake that into the ground, right in the center of the tent door. And once you have that loosely staked into the ground, you can stake the other 2 points, and that's going to erect the front part of the tent. Your trekking poles are going to be up in the air. After you have the front 3 guy out points staked out, you remove the middle guy out point from the gear shed panel. That's going to allow you to tighten the other 2 a little bit more and make this panel a lot tighter. The next step is to take the single pole and put it through the sleeve in the rear of the tent and stake out that last point. Once you have that staked out, I would go around and just tighten up all the guy out points, tighten up all the little stakes, just to make sure the tent is pitched really well. And the other thing you can do is take the 2 additional stakes and stake out these extra guy lines. If it's storming or if it's windy, I would suggest staking those out all the time. But if you're using that front gear panel as more of an awning and you have that set up, you can use these 2 guy out points to hold the trekking poles up, and we'll show you that configuration as well. So now that we've got everything staked out, we have these additional guy lines on either side staked out. This is the number 1 configuration. You're covered underneath of this gear shed panel here, but you can take the 2 stakes out of the ground here and you can roll this part up. Use the toggles on here to tie it off. The other configuration is actually taking sticks or tying it off to a tree and having an awning having this panel just come straight out. On nicer days, if you want that little bit of shade, you can hang out underneath of it or just have that extra space. And there you have it, all the different configurations and how to set up the Sierra Designs Tensegrity 1 FL tent.